Hi friends, welcome back to Mark's Speed Shop. In this week's video, I want to show you the intake that I bought for this Plymouth. I may have shown it to you before, just the intake, but I went ahead and I got a couple of carburetors. It's a 2 4-barrel intake, but I'm doing it up as 2 2-barrels and seeing how that'll work. Because this car, it's a stock 318 poly, and it doesn't need 2 4-barrels. And if you buy the smaller 4-barrels, it's like $1,000 for 2 carburetors. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm not going to do all that. But I want to show you what I got in mind for this. And I'm not going to put it on right now. I'm just trying to get it all together, all mocked up, and figure out how I'm going to do it. Wrap my brain around it again, like I said before in the other one. Most of the things you do, you have to do that, especially if you're getting a little custom. But anyway, welcome back. Thanks for coming back. I hope you enjoy. Now that I have the little studs out of there, I'm just going to give this a quick mock-up just to see what it looks like. So I'm not going to put the gaskets on it this time. I want to do a little bit more. We'll go ahead and do some bolts because I kind of want to see. Look at one of these cars to make sure it's going to bolt where I believe it's going to bolt. I don't want to go through sticking the studs in it and getting it on and then it not bolt. All right. Let's just see here. Yeah, it's going to be the inside ones. That's what I thought. All right. So. Well, I was going to put the little studs up to the adapter and then put them on and all that. But then I realized I'm going from 4-barrel intake to 2-barrel carburetor. So about the only way to do it is to put the carburetor on the adapter. Now, like I say, it's going to be a mock-up, but I did go ahead and I ended up putting 2 gaskets on here. And I might need to find one of those little thick ones that they used to put on because I see right now this little piece right here hits. And when I first set the carburetor on there, this was almost down below this. So I might have to bend this little piece a little bit. That's why we mock it up. But with 2 gaskets on it, it looks all right. See? But that might give it a faster idle than I want. Because it's trying to give it the gas. Give it the onions. Alright, so let me put a couple of these down in here. Let's see how this does. I also want to get something to seal it up because these things got a lot of extra holes in them. So I have found if you seal the gaskets on a little bit better, then you have less leaks. When I put the 4-barrel on the car that this is going to go on, when I put the 4-barrel on one of these adapters on the 2-barrel intake, man, that thing sucked there. And I took it off and I made sure I tightened everything, in sequence and just right. No, it didn't matter. I took it off and I Permatex both sides of each gasket, and it's sealed up. All right, let me get these in and we'll see what we're looking at. All right, well, we got one on there, mocked up. Like I say, no gasket. Sure is big. This is the Mopar style, little 318 type carburetor. Been on the 273s and the 318s and I think most of your 360s had a bigger carburetor. I think the 360s might have had a carburetor about like the 3 to 3.2 barrels. But anyway, this is the Chrysler style. And looks like it's going to work. Like I say, that dinging it, I might have to bend this piece right here just a little bit. Because that is definitely hitting. And we'll get the other one mocked up here in a minute. I'm a little concerned about the fuel inlet, but if that is a problem, I can take this piece out and then put, you know, a piece right in a little bit closer. Maybe put the actual line with the fitting all the way up in here instead of out here. But let's get that one on and see what it looks like. All right, I'll go ahead and show you what I did on the first one. Let me get those other two. Get those other two gaskets here. Alright, so I'm just putting these two gaskets, trying to raise it up a little bit. I'm just putting them on here. I'm gonna try to do one here. Alright, let's set that down on there. Let me go ahead and get a couple of nuts, the nuts started. But there it is set down on there. Alright, got 3 of them on there. Gosh, these little nuts. And holding the bolts. It's difficult. It's not bothering me too bad. But I got, you know, big old fingers. And since I'm a bit diabetic, I don't have as much feeling in my fingers as I used to. I've always struggled. I guess a lot of people do. I won't say everybody, because there's probably some of you young fellas out there that still have moisture in your fingers. Maybe I should moisturize and have feeling and can do stuff. I used to do it a whole lot easier than I do now, but anyway, it's just tedious. Everything's a little bit more difficult. All right, finally got it started. Hold on, let me snug these up just a little bit. Since I am just mocking this up, I just want to snug it just a little bit. I don't really want to crush or mar those gaskets. I just want to get it kind of pulled down just enough to where I'll know what's hitting or what might not be hitting. I'm sure most of y'all know you don't wrench down on carburetor bolts anyway. Get them snug. And you crisscross, get back and forth. All right, that's on there now. Let's see. The fuel lines go to the front. She's going to be tight. I think it's going to work. Now, let me go ahead and get these in. And we'll have her all mocked up. At least the carburetor's on anyway. Now, my linkage kit did come in yesterday, so I'll get that out and show it to you. I ain't even opened the package yet. All right, I got her on. Get it snug down just a little bit. Once again, I'm not wrenching down on it, which I don't even have the gaskets on the bottom. Not yet. Just want to mark her up and make sure she'll work. See what all else I will have to do. I believe it might just work though. If when I do put it all on, I can get it all sealed up. All kinds of holes. They fit several different size carburetors. And I found out before that, you pretty much need to make sure all these holes are sealed. All right, let me get you in here a little closer and take a look at it. Well, there we go. 2 barrels. And there's the fuel, the fuel inlet for the bowl. Looks like I'm gonna have plenty of room there. Of course, the front one's here. So, might have to get a little creative with the choke things. No problem though. So I can still be able to come out of here with a fitting and then bend it and come over here and do this one the same way and then fix a dual thing, almost probably kind of like a Holley has. Or I might just find a little distribution block, 1 in and 2 outs, and just, make my own, but I think it's going to work. Same thing over here. It's going to hit. Actually, I might bend this a little bit. I don't think it would take much. I should just be able to bend it up a little bit, but even if I had to take some meat off of this adapter, that wouldn't be a problem either. But I think it might just work. Even being 2 barrels, it looks pretty good. The adapters ain't pretty the same. That's no big deal. Just makes it look a little more racy. And I could paint the adapters. I could paint them red. I could paint them, take a different color. It might be an idea, painting the adapters the same color as the intake. Might not show up as much. I don't know. We'll see. I got a lot of thinking to do. Now, the other day, I made a little post on Facebook, my page, that I'd gotten all this, with this thing, the carburetor still in the bag and the adapter still in the little case and all that, little carton, whatever it is. And made a little post, and a couple of my car club buddies made comments. One, Bobby, made a pretty good comment. He said, what if I could put 2 4-barrels, he said quadrajets, put 2 4-barrels on it and then just make your springs so tight on the back secondaries that they only worked as 2 barrels. Good idea, Bobby, because then it would look like, I mean, it would be 2 4 barrels on it, but it wouldn't act like 2 4 barrels, so it wouldn't flood out the engine. And if that was the case, I could probably do one tight and one not, or do it in between where it would let in a little bit. You know, a lot of different things you can do. But we're going to give this a try and see what's what. Now, I'm not planning on putting this on, real soon, so don't be looking for that coming up. We'll see how that goes. But I want to do this and get it done and get it on the intake and see what it looks like. Now, let me get the little universal linkage dealie, which means it won't fit anything. I'm going to have to modify everything. So, but as long as it's got little ends on it, I can make it work. So let's see what that is. All right, well, I got the package open. First thing it falls out, this little thing, it says, stop. Important customer notice. 48-hour time limit. Maybe it explodes after 48 hours, just like the Mission Impossible tape. No. I guess they mean it's like 30 feet or 30 seconds warranty on the car, whichever comes first. So they're telling you after 2 days, it's yours, no matter what. Whatever. All right. And it says here, zinc dual carb linkage with hardware, made in Taiwan. Oh, well, at least it ain't China. Geographically close to China, and China would like to take it over, but right now they're a free country, and we protect them. But enough politics. Let's see what this looks like. All right. There's no telling what this thing weighs. This is the heaviest intake I've ever seen. Now, I'm not going to put this on, but we're going to hold her up. I'll probably do massive modification. I figured I'd probably have to modify so much that it wouldn't much matter. But I figured if I got something, I would at least have these little things here that go into the rod here and go into the carburetor thing here. So we got all that. This is probably going to be the one that... Yep, looks pretty basic. Just made the hook. Okay, well, I got these little pieces on for the linkage. Okay, that's how that'll go, whether it goes on the inside or this side. All right, and that will make it work, okay? But it's got these little pieces here. It's like a little bushing. It's smooth around. And it goes on here. And a little tiny little cotter pin. Tiny. I gotta be careful, I don't want to drop it. Tiny, tiny little cotter key. Goes right in here. And so I think this would go in here, but my little hole there is too small. I have to drill that out. But once you get that on there, that's going to be good and snug, and it'll work. Now I'm going to have to figure it out back here where the factory style thing, the cable and all is. But that'll work. I'll hook them together and that'll work. I don't know about this piece. It's got a screw in for it to be, something in it. It looks like this will fit here, but I don't know. All that's going to have to come when I hook up the factory stuff and see if I can make it all work. That's way on down the line, but I got this one. Well, there she is. Even my 2 barrels, that's an intake full. Looks pretty neat. The adapters, they kind of look like crap. But, I mean, not a show car. We'd like to clean them up a little bit to where they weren't quite so sticking out, but it's not too bad. I mean, by the time you get on the car and get a couple of air cleaners on it and all that, still not bad. We'll see. I mean, as long as it's running pretty good with one of these that's on it, that's probably the way it's going to stay. For now, anyway. But I wanted to get this. I wanted to get it set up. Even if I sold this, if somebody else with a poly that have been looking for something like this, I might sell some of it. I've got, I probably got, let's say I got about $400 in what you see sitting there, plus the little linkage kit and the gaskets. Because the carburetor's brand new from the Jungle website, and the adapters and the linkage was about $200 altogether. And then the intake, I gave a guy $200 for that, but he threw in a whole lot of other stuff. So at the time, it was about a $400 intake. So if anybody, somebody came along and had a poly and wanted a setup like this, I wouldn't take less than $400. If I took $400 for it, I'd barely be getting my money out of it. And the more I do, the more it costs. I wouldn't mind making some base plates that fit this, of course, but come out to be like a 4-barrel, and then put 2 velocity stacks on it. That'd be kind of cool. We'll see. I mean, I don't know. But right now, it's a $400 to $500 paperweight. But should be functional. We'll see. We'll see. All right, well, that's going to wrap up this video on mocking up the carburetors on the intake for the Poly in the 66 Plymouth. I really appreciate y'all coming back and watching. I appreciate everybody and the comments and everything. I look forward to it. And I thank you. Y'all have good suggestions. So please like, share, comment, and subscribe. It's free. And you really help me out growing the channel. I really appreciate everybody that watches, and y'all come back next time, and I'll be here, good Lord willing, and I'll see you at the shop. Oh yeah, every little bit you do gets you one step closer to completing your project, just like this. Even mocking up the carburetor's intake, me trying to figure out the linkages and all that, that's one step closer before I even try to get it on the car. Hopefully that'll be coming up pretty soon too. So I really do appreciate it. Thank you. Just hit that little button and subscribe. Thank you.